Hi, intrepid viewers. Dr. Lena. It's Sunday, May 5th in Australia. So if you're watching this, you're ahead of the game because I'm coming to you from tomorrow for the Northern Hemisphere, one of my special powers. So today I'm going to be answering your questions. So viewers, when you have questions, put them in the comments. I can't guarantee I get to all of them, but I try. So, news flash for this week. In the last few days, John Eastman, one of the Yeti's lawyers, has had his law license suspended. It's not totally revoked yet, but it is suspended. He's disappointed because he was hoping to keep practicing law and earning money to pay for his Georgia legal fees. He's been done with all the others for racketeering in Georgia. Love the R word, don't you? So I'm going to dive in and see how things are going for John Eastman. He's one of those faceless suits, isn't he? But here we go, MAGA, make attorneys, get attorneys. It's one of the things they do best. So let's see what's going on for John Eastman. Oh, well, his cards start off all right, quite conciliatory cards in many ways. And then they go downhill from there. So at the moment, I take this temperance card to being he's weighing his options. I think for many of these people, even the smart ones who have been to law school and whatever, I don't care if you're in an echo chamber, you're in an echo chamber, and they've been talking themselves up for what, 5 years, and most particularly the last few years. They're only starting to realize. So he's, I think, thinking of a trade of some sort of balance. This is a card about balance and moderation. This could be the specifics of his deal, which with the Lover's card, if you're learning tarot, is about compacts, contracts, leases, deals, okay? So I think these two cards together is, if he hasn't already got it, he is going to be more conciliatory than he thought he'd have to be. Now, this is the Hermit. It could be John Eastman or those looking at what he has done, because the Hermit, who's quite happy in their own cave, the light is being shone now on their various nefarious behaviours. I think he's getting more isolated, though, in the sense, excuse me, I'd put him in the category of Michael Flynn and Bill Barr and those who should be more au fait with the fundamentals of the underlying democracy experiment in the United States that is at risk and choose to walk past the light. My second interpretation of this is, once you're involved in a big sprawling court case, you're not supposed to contact other witnesses. That's part of the deal. So people aren't picking up the phone to John Eastman anymore. And oh dear, like here I am, Lena, the Queen of Snark. But also look at this card. It is the death card. I don't mean anything to do with his literal death. When we designed this deck, we had this figure that is traditionally under the horse. Looks a little bit like the Yeti, all right? So he'll be another one trampling over the Yeti in his haste to get this deal secured. Look, it used to be, and viewers, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it used to be in these bigger cases involving a lot of people, only the first 1, 2, maybe 3 would be even offered a deal. After that, there was a cut-off date and no deal. Deal or no deal. No. But I'm really, I have to say, a bit jaundiced at the idea that maybe 15 or 16 of them can get deals. I know it's important to get to the top of the greasy pole. However, all right, let me know what you think about that. Now, another question was about Steve Bannon, the sartorial elegance of Steve Bannon, you know. In fact, Steve Bannon is one of the reasons I have a video channel at all, right? Because it was Kirsten Langston on her channel, and this would be 6 or 7 years ago now. Oh my God. She did a wonderful reading on Steve Bannon, and that gave me the inspiration to start doing political tarot. So thank you, Kirsten. And people want to know, because his trial was supposed to start in May, has been pushed back to July. And who's his judge? Yes, Judge Michelle. So he's been charged. Remember, we build the wall. So how do you get a few million suckers to send you money? They worked it out. They're very good at that. And he got 15 million under false pretenses, allegedly, until the court case goes through, but we know. And then ran off with the money. So let's see what's happening. And in the meantime, he was in jail, pardoned by the Yeti Bino, and has been free for the last 2 or 3 years to spew forth his viciousness. Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon. Money, money. All right. His cards aren't tragic. You know, one shouldn't glory in the downfall of others. However, when you don't see their downfall straight away, that's sort of irritating too, isn't it, really? So his cards aren't frightful, but he's, with this Ace of Cups, I think he's more emotional than he lets on. I digress, viewers. Now, he's one of the original macho men, you know, and the problem with so many macho men, they put all their energy from about the age of 6 to not showing emotion. They have no emotion, you know, and then it spills over. It spills over because they're actually highly emotional creatures and are often irrational with emotion. The stuff that women have traditionally been accused of. This isn't normal, stable men. Macho men are emotional balls of fire inside. And he's crying on the inside. Now, he's getting money again because, does he have a job? I mean, obviously he gets paid for, you know, his toxic utterances, but this isn't a lot of money. It's a page. It's not a knight. It's not a king or a queen. It's a quite humble page, 1 pentacle. He's in financial strife. He still broadcasts his aggression everywhere he goes. He gets the 4 of Swords. He will get a gag order. You watch. This will, I think, mean this is a 4, could be 4 weeks, 4 months. I think, yeah, not long after the trial starts, because he won't be able to help himself. he'll be saying things, and because the court system seems to manage to deal with people who aren't as complex as the Yeti, not that he's a complex man, but the position, being an ex-president, makes it all complicated. I think this represents a gag order in the interests of the nation. My America card. So mixed bag, not terrible, but I think behind the scenes, personally, he's sort of realizing he's going to go back to jail. And this time, I doubt he'll get away with it. Now, another digression. J.D. Vance, a man with the potential, however, is chosen to ally himself strongly with the legion of imbecilic, ideologically driven nutcases that is the far right. And he was on CNN. Thank you for the viewer who sent me the clip, because otherwise I would have missed it, because I no longer support CNN. And a woman called Caitlin Collins, one of the CNN journos, got him not once but twice. The first time she said to him, "Oh, Mr. Vance, you've been talked about as a possibility for being a vice president to the Yeti." And he was like, perhaps I can't speak about it. Perhaps you could see that he was quite chuffed at the idea and all of that. And she said, well, after how he treated his last vice president and the angry mob was howling to hang Mike Pence, is this really the smartest idea you've ever had in the world? And he looked really uncomfortable, right? Okay. The second thing was the student protests, and there were trespassing and vandalism and stuff, the breaking of the windows, etc. And she led him cleverly into the trap by saying, well, what do you think should happen? Oh, the full weight of the law should come down on these people. What a dreadful, inexcusable act. And she said, well, then why are you fundraising for the vandals who attacked the White House? Attacked Congress, breaking windows, assaulting police officers, and threatening to carry off and execute the vice president. Please explain. So he won't be going on CNN again because they're so gutless. Okay, so that was nice to watch. Yeah. Stay with me. What have I got here? Oh, Democrat from Texas, Henry Cuellar, and his wife have been subpoenaed or indicted, or whatever the first step is, because they allegedly took $600,000 in bribes. Now, this is hot on the heels of the New Jersey Menendez husband and wife team. So let's hope the Dems clear up their side of the ledger too. There obviously needs to be more grunt in this. They're doing it while they're in office. They used to do it before and after, now they do it while they're in. So just so you know, I'm happy to dish it when needed. So I hope the Dems deal with that effectively. Like, let's hope he gets replaced by another Dem, because this is a problem. Okay, so I'm going to get to Biden and the youth vote. I think we'll keep that for another day, because it deserves more time than I've got to give it today, because I wanted to do a read on Kamala Harris, and then I want to do a bigger read on Trump in May. So let's have a quick look at Kamala. How's she doing? Kamala, warming to Kamala. She's one of those people, I think, who steps up to the role. And as both the candidates are not spring chickens, vice presidents are going to be very important, and it could end up being a head-to-head competition, VP to VP. So let's have a look. How's Kamala feeling and traveling? Whoops. Kamala. Look, she gets big, big, big cards. The first card here, with this Eight of Swords, I'll remind you with the Eight of Swords, it tends to be a limitation of your own making. This figure can, if she works it out, putting her foot in the water, she can wriggle out of the bonds and take off the blindfold. In other words, I think for Kamala to get this as her first card, it's like she's really holding back. Right, I think it's not wanting to outshine Joe or something like that. But this isn't a permanent state. Soon enough, her chariot will be going forward again. I think she is speaking more and more publicly, but she's not. It's not that she's not comfortable with public speaking. I think she is. That's the dynamic, I think. She doesn't want to be too luminous, but she might have to. Tower moment here. That could take many forms. It could be a political crisis, could be a health crisis for Biden, could be all sorts of things. But my feel, funnily enough, because the next card is the world, meaning the world and traveling and stuff, I think there could be a gigantic natural disaster of some kind, could be in America or not, where she does the traveling. Look, she's got two travel cards. So maybe she will be representing Joe overseas. This could be a political earthquake, of course. It could be Israel-Gaza negotiations breaking down or something. I understand that Anthony Blinken is the go-to guy. Poor Anthony, he's looking a bit stressed, as you would be in his position. You wouldn't want to be in his shoes. But I think it's something big and possibly international that she'll represent him. And the Ten of Pentacles, this is a card of money, obviously, but Pentacles are more than money. I think she is connecting to the different generations. This is a card of legacies and intergenerational. You've got the grandfather, the reproductive parents, if you like, and the children. I think she's starting to make inroads with people who are older and younger. Okay, so don't fret about this. It's her. You know, I think he trusts her enough and probably suggests a few extra things. She goes, no, it's all right, you know, but she will step up. Okay, so now look at Trump for May. The Yeti, the Bino, billionaire in name only. How's May going to pan out? Let's see. Oh my God, he might be running out of bronzer, you know. Look, look what's happening with Trump in May. Trump in May. So let's have a look. All right, here we go. So Four of Swords again. This could be stalling tactics. of which he and his team are the masters. This could represent another major court delay. See the stained glass windows, representing an enigma, how to go forward from here. We have the King of Swords and the Knight of Wands coming up here. So underneath how he's feeling in May is the whole judicial nightmare that is going to be his everyday life from now until he shuffles off the mortal coil. So Knight of Wands, this could be Farney. This could be Georgia coming on board here. Okay, interesting. Ironically, Eight of Pentacles, the Apprentice card. It's like a little joke from the universe, isn't it? The Apprentice. So it's above lawyers taking time out to work out how on earth they're going to do this thing, right? Two of Wands, having a think, having a strategize. I think the problem with this is when I picked this card up, I got a sort of flash of another legal case altogether. And just as his legal teams, plural, because there's so many cases, think they've got it in hand, see the world here, think they've got it in hand, another case comes out of nowhere. Something that has flown under the radar for all of us. That's interesting. Let's pull another couple of cards here. Is there another case or what's happening? I'm still not getting his personal vibe. So which could be a mercy, but I want to pull a few more cards here. That was sort of, as often happens in tarot, laying out the atmosphere. So let's see what another few cards bring us. Yeah, look, he'll keep savaging the various judges or something, except not Alien Cannon. Twitter, meaning X, meaning Truth Social. So swords are ruled by air, and that rules social media. So he's going to keep doing that. The problem is people are pushing back on social media, and he can't bear it when it comes back. He's like all bullies. He can dish it out, but he can't handle it. He's got a big decision to make. Here's my feeling on this. Okay. What I think his crossroads dilemma is. Normally at this stage, a man of 77 or whatever he is, like any other mob boss or anyone who gets caught at that stage of life, and you're looking at, you know, dozens of court cases and indictments and the possibility of jail for the rest of your natural, they go for the sick card. So sorry, Your Honour. Mea culpa. I'm just not well enough, right? But he can't do that because he'll appear weak to the base. So he hasn't got that option. He's got to pretend he's still the loudmouth, right? These don't work together at all for him. And I think, you know, in a personal reading, the Phoenix rising from the ashes stuff, for sure. But for him, he's actually so fragile, like all bullies. He's incredibly fragile. And I think this is going to, I think in May we'll see a significant erosion of his health, physical health and his mental health. Yeah. Okay, guys, now a few of you are saying, oh, because I'm going away. Don't worry, you're coming with me. It's all right. I'm just not doing personal readings. till July. So I'll be continuing these videos. And today, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo in Mexico, blessings. And I'll see you all on the other side. Ciao for now. I'll put some clips up too. I've got a couple of good clips for you to have a look at, including Bette Midler doing a satire of Trump's cologne. It's hilarious. Bye.